A really exciting day in the Hoosier State, but first thing voters have to bring is a government-issued photo ID. So a student ID or a work ID isn't going to cut it today. And so here's what we know. 6 people have been taken to the hospital, 2 adults and 4 children. And as you can see right here, here's the house where the fire took place. And we just received a press release saying the sheriffs in Colorado found Perez in a suspicious car. Now what we're going to do is the signing of the sausage. John is going to sign for the, how many pounds of sausage?
400 pounds.
400 pounds, just a little, you know.
400 pounds.
Exactly. That conversation has pretty much come to an end as of now, with Donald Trump clinching a commanding win last night. It's led him to be the probable nominee. If you just throw on a helmet and grab a bat, you can actually train just like a South Bend Cub. Hit the guardrail and then flipped over. And then what happened is this tanker truck that you see behind me came and crashed into the... You'll see a lot of faces here that will be on the ballot in May. And there is a lunch here that starts at the Westside Democratic Club at 11:30. We're here at Potawatomi Zoo, where Zubu will start tonight. There's going to be lights, pumpkin carving, a lot of decorations. And right here with us is not only the zoo director, Marcy Dean, but also my new best friend, Copper. He is the cutest thing I've ever seen. So again, $310 million. Check your pockets because it could be you. And if it is you, give me a call because we should get together. This is actually a bona fide Gryffindor scarf. So I'm kind of like a Hermione Granger, Harry Potter-esque character. I wasn't going to draw the scar on. I thought that might be a little bit too much, and I left my glasses at home. I'm saving that for later tonight. But yes, it is a legitimate Harry Potter. Want to come out and tap a maple tree today and get your very own maple syrup? You can do that starting at 9:30 today. And we're going to give you a sneak peek into those treats. We have a few of them right here with us. Taylor used to be involved in vandalism by doing graffiti, but always had this passion for art. Those polls painted a much different picture, but fast forward, and now a Washington Post ABC News poll has Trump leading Clinton by 2%. And if you recognize that someone is having a stroke, the sooner you take action, the more you can reduce those long-term side effects. This road right here will be under construction for the next 3 months. Just the first step before you can get into one of these cars. And the South Bend officers who do work here say the job is a lot of hard work, but it's totally worth it. Kids will sign a pledge, and for this weekend, they won't use any TV, video games, tablets, or get this, even their smartphones. Registration actually just kicked off behind me. You can kind of see the line of people waiting to register, and the camp starts at 9, so still plenty of time today. We walked through the halls of the Humane Society here and saw tons of dogs and cats that were vaccinated. In Indiana, it is law, and it's important because it can prevent cases like this from happening. In a series of tweets by Egypt Air, the reason for the disappearance has not been confirmed. But that sort of gives you an idea of how bad these roads truly are. We got this big ice throne here. It's a little slippery to sit on, I must say, and a little bit chilly, but nevertheless very cool. Humane Society of St. Joseph County told me that they're currently dealing with 11 dog bite cases. And the same thing for when you're taking the bike out. All you're going to do is push this up, take your bike out, and you will be able to take your bike all throughout Chicago in the midst of what they're calling a capital campaign. So since 2002, the combined total of kids coming to their facility has increased by 742%. So that's 50% more than the election in 2008. Well, this is actually pretty interesting because instead of having specific anti-bullying programs, schools are trying to get to the root of the issue by encouraging kids to do the right thing.
Because I was sad because I was getting bullied.
Lexi Hansen draws pictures like this one. She wants to be an artist when she grows up.
Yeah.
And the glasses she wears helps her draw.
He just says I look weird and I have googly eyes.
That's what Lexi's bully calls her.
She came home one day and she was crying, and I'm like, what's wrong? And she's like, well, he pushed me down the stairs on the bus.
So what's being done to keep kids like Lexi from being bullied? Indiana schools have statewide initiatives like Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports, or IPBS. It pushes for positive character development with rewards.
When we really believe that we have a true bully, defined by the books, we try to give them, counseling. We hook them up with the social worker. Our social worker or counselor will reach out to families to get them referrals to outside agencies. But it's important, that is very important, to remember that it's not just about the victim, it's also about the person bullying because they're hurting too.
Marshall Primary student Jayshawn Caldwell used to be a bully.
Well, I had started bullying when I was like 9 years old, then I stopped. Then I just protect people.
South Bend schools are taking prevention to the next level by training people in character education and citizenship.
There's lots of barriers, but again, the research shows social and emotional learning is important. So we try to capitalize on teaching kids how to be good citizens, what it means to care about another human being, and to always reteach, because we know that we're battling against different forces, and we really are.
To help vibrant young kids like Lexi.
I would say that you are in the inside you're good, and out the outside you're good.
And stop bullying. South Bend schools also partner with Notre Dame to do conflict resolution programs. In the studio, I'm Alex Elich. Well, Bob, it's more than just showing up and filling out the application at the Luther J. Taylor Fire Training Center. Candidates then who are selected will be asked to come back and do a series of mental testing and oral interviews and a physical test. And I was able to give that physical test a try. You have to be ready at a moment's notice. But to even get to this point, you have to pass the physically demanding CPAT test.
By the time I got here, yeah, it was still hard. And it was like, whoa, because you step off that stair stepper and it's like, all right, okay, I got it. And then you keep going. But I think I was a little bit prepared for that. But like I said, I had that drive, and I just wanted to keep going.
One of the 8 stations that a firefighter applicant has to go through is called the ceiling breach. Now, what it simulates is pulling down a ceiling in a fire situation.
You have to realize that this is a job unlike any other job, where at a moment's notice you're put into work mode. You know, your heart rate goes from 60 to 120 at the sound of a tone.
Another test is dragging 165 pounds of dead weight. Oh my God! And let's just say I couldn't be a South Bend firefighter.
There you go, good job.
You've got to really want to do this job. It's not just any other job that you know, 8 to 5 job. It's a tough job. It requires a lot of mental preparation, physical preparation, but it's so satisfying to be able to do and help the community.
The exact reason why Gomez left his cozy job behind a desk in the first place.
It might be a stubbed toe, it might be a house on fire, but I impacted that person's life in one way or another. And to me, that's why I do the job. That's why I have the passion for this.
Now, to do all those physical tests you just saw, you have to wear this 50-pound vest. And what this simulates is the gear firefighters wear to go into a fire situation. Sade Morales awoke to news that changed her life. Justin Sharp, the father of her children, was shot and killed at this Phillips 66 gas station.
And they're gonna be without their father, his mother and father without their child, his sisters and brothers without their brother.
Morales was one of many who stopped by the gas station to pay their respects. Investigators say this homicide is another example of a senseless crime.
I don't know what it's going to take for this stuff to get through to the community, that every time you have a disagreement, it doesn't mean you have to kill somebody.
He will always be in our hearts, but this violence has to stop.
You know, the message is don't be stupid. Don't kill people. I mean, how hard is it?
The case is still under investigation. Officials are looking for a person who they believe is connected to the murder. But friends and family of Sharp just want answers.
I want everyone to know I need that man that took my child's father away. You have done something to this city that you cannot take back. You done shook our whole world upside down.
Basically, he just took me out of the rough, tumbled dirt and grime that I was in, and, you know, like, made me clean, you know, like, made me a better man.
It takes someone to show they care. Just a little bit of guidance. And for Taylor, a paintbrush.
While we're painting, we use that time as not necessarily therapy, but as a way for them to just sort of express some of their frustrations, some of their problems, and as an older male, I'm able to give them advice and kind of work them through that. It's amazingly powerful, and the art part of it is, you know, the bonus.
Before Stakowitz took Taylor under his wing, Taylor was living in violence. His father left when he was young, leaving him feeling unsafe.
I was basically running the streets just trying to figure out how to be a man by myself. So it was kind of good that Chris kind of swooped in and became that father figure that I needed.
Mentoring can be an incredibly powerful thing, and for Taylor, mentoring through artwork changed his life.
I'd probably want to say right here, actually. It brings peace of mind also. It brings focus, and it distracts me away from everything else that is going on for the time being. Art has really saved my life, so.
He uses his talent on walls like this one. You could say he traded his spray can for a paintbrush.
He just totally flipped me around. He's just like, he just helped me become a way better person than what I was.
This is the chapel hallway at Memorial Hospital. Every single plaque has a story behind it.
Carrie was supposed to be here and wasn't, and a few minutes later, the state police pulled up in the driveway, so my first thought was, hopefully this is a mistake. If not, it's not good, and it turned out to be not good. She had an accident right down the road here on her way home from work.
Carrie Selka died almost a year ago. Her family was approached about donating her organs.
Carrie and I had discussed a lot of things about a situation like this. We never discussed that, so for a moment there, it was kind of, I didn't know what to do, and we looked at each other, and I don't think it took us 5 seconds to all say almost at the same time, this is what she would want.
With someone being added to the national organ transplant waiting list every 10 minutes, it's a talk that experts appreciate.
In making sure that the folks that are most likely to be there at the time of your death are aware of your wishes. That eliminates a huge burden for families to try and interpret what you might have wanted to have happen.
Carrie's kidneys, liver, and corneas were donated. Some recipients of Carrie's organs sent her family letters thanking them for the gift of life.
If we were going to have something bad happen to us, the best thing that could come out of it would be to have somebody else survive. If we could have something good come out of our bad situation, I wanted that to happen. That was my thought process.
And I feel like a kind of a connection with those people. I know one of them was a teacher, and he had kids, and so it's just kind of another connection to say, wow, this person, is doing the exact same thing my mom was doing, and then they can live on.
Carrie's family, now advocates for organ donation, take comfort that others are living because of the woman they loved.
That's kind of how I saw her. A love of life, yeah.